Here we go.
Yay.
There we go, man. We have entered officially, finally, at the Canadian Bro Show. We have officially entered the 21st century. It's about time. A little bit late. 71 videos later, we are getting it. Thank you for staying with us. We're a few days late on the broadcast because of scheduling, technical, everyone's busy. And of course, the NBA is ongoing. And Trent's has a reason to celebrate because he is not only the co-host with the most, and welcome, Trent. He's also a very, very good friend of over 40 years. And without him, I'd still do this show, but it wouldn't be the same because we have the perfect synergy of Hoopjunkiism. And thank you for joining us at the Canadian Bro Show, the second iteration of all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley. First iteration, just quickly, if you haven't seen this show before and you're interested, is just a quick blurb on the first iteration, which is essentially the Canadian Bro Show. And it is all Canadian things with Pauly and Johnny, and essentially pop culture, Canadian pop culture, with an importance on celebrating Canada, elbows up. I know the whole political thing is, we're not going to get into that. This is about basketball tonight. At the end of the day, we've had some really nice comments. We've had some really good growth, about 7 to 8% consistently. And this is episode 25, I believe. Yeah, it is. And welcome, Trent. How are things in St. Paul, Alberta?
Things are good. Need a lot of rain. We need rain. Already forest fires going on.
No way.
Yeah, dude. There's like community 2 hours from us that's already
That's
been
terrible, bro. You just went like a month ago with snow on the golf course, and now wow, it changes quick, eh?
Rained one. And it's
Wow.
been really windy, so it's just dried everything right out.
So
It's
what is not to get into the government? We did an episode recently on the Canadian Bro Show, All Things Canadian, where Trent, we interviewed him, called Finding Alberta. But a lot of people don't know what the hell's going on outside the province they live in Canada, and a lot of people that don't live in Canada don't even know that Alberta is a province. By the way, they probably don't even know Alberta is in Canada. So what's going on? What are they planning for that? Quickly, Trent. Like
there's
nothing.
I think, they're just using it. I think we'll see some type of vote, probably not by the end of this year, but in 2026, you'll see there's going to be votes on a bunch of stuff, and if there's enough votes or signatures for a referendum vote, then there'll be a vote on that as well. But right now, that's not included.
That referendum vote's going to have, for those that are interested, Trent did a great job for us on the first iteration, All Things Canadian, on Finding Alberta. We did 90 minutes. It was fantastic. I learned a lot. And but we're here about all things basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley, and we're a couple of days late, but that's okay. There's a ton of content. Trent, do you want to start off with what the heck is going on? The WNBA season has started. In our last episode, a lot of people commented on, especially Johnny, because he doesn't follow basketball. He goes, "God, I loved the episode. It was great. You guys have great synergy." But who the hell is he's coming? He had no idea what we were talking about. So for those that don't, please take over. Trent's a specialist on NCAA, both men's and women's basketball. And of course, I know who he's talking about as well, but Johnny's just so funny. It's Cooper Flagg, who's going to be the first pick of the NBA draft after the playoffs. Soon thereafter, the playoffs finish. By the way, the playoffs are finally, the first round was a bit flaccid, but the second round is electrifying, and hence the title, episode 25. We want to do
Robert Murray episode.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And we do want to mention the WNBA just started. Their season started, thank goodness. And Caitlin Clark, I watched her exhibition game against Brazil. Where do you want to start, Trent? Do you want to talk about that and then go into whatever we unfold?
Quickly on Cooper Flagg, so the people who have been loyal and been watching us, first of all, thanks for doing that and subscribing and all that stuff. The Cooper Flagg thing.
Thank you.
Again, it's, the lottery comes up just before the final, so Paul and I just talked. Paul and I just talked about probably going through the draft a little bit more detailed the week before. When they do after they do the lottery, kind of do a little top 10 thing. So the Cooper Flag thing, I mean, he should be number one. So both of us are going to have him number one on our top 10, and we'll probably do something like that. What's going on in the world right now? Cooper Flag is kind of on the outside for me.
Yeah.
What's going on for me right now is, first of all, the NBA playoffs. The last 4 days, there's been some couple great games, unbelievable games.
Yeah, so for those who don't follow basketball or are interested in basketball, sorry for the introduction. We're entering the second round, which is the conference semifinals, which are absolutely thus far electrifying.
Right. So, Clark, what you brought up first, though, I'm going to talk about firstly is game.
Yeah.
Exhibition game the other day.
Yeah.
1.3 million viewers on ABC. Spiked at 1.6.
Yeah.
WNBA games don't get that. It's the NBA games that don't get that in the regular season. Generated about $10 million for the Iowa community of where the university is, and restaurants and hotels. People traveled from everywhere to go to this game. It was sold out, playing against a Brazilian team who has 4 girls that are all going to be freshmen in NCAA this year. So they're very young, but I mean, she played well. I mean, they played well at all. She only played 19 minutes.
Sorry, Trent, the Brazilian team has also got all the other players are professional. And
but I'm just saying they're young. They're a young team, but and there's a couple girls, like there's a girl on both teams, a girl on Antes on the Fever that is on the Brazilian team that wasn't playing for the Brazilian team, and there's a few players that are in the WNBA. Cardosa from Chicago, she plays on the Brazilian team, so they're missing some of their players as well. But the big thing there was, first of all, I had a person say to me when I sent him a little picture of the 1.3 million viewers, and he goes, "Man, I hope she lives up to the hype you're giving her, because if not," and I go, "Dude, she's already lived up and surpassed the hype. That's already gone, dude. We already know who she is."
That was a few years ago, bro, when she broke Pistol Pete Maravich's record.
The hype's over. Like, he's there already. So the big thing I was going to bring up with her, it's going to be, I hope for a good season. I know she's got a bit of a leg injury right now, so hopefully that's not something that really slows her down. She looked like she bulked up in her leg. Like, the jump shot looked even easier when she shot it from the actual line.
If you look at the last year photo when her rookie year when they do, and then her photo this year, you could tell she hit the weights, man.
Yeah. So
and there's several players in the NBA that should be doing the exact same thing. We'll talk about that later.
So she that 36, 37 footer she hit with the person on there too. Like, come on, people. And something like, well, that's what people are coming to see. They're not just coming to see that, you guys. She's averages 8 to 10 assists a game.
Did you see the dime she dropped behind her back? Nobody even saw it coming. That was beautiful.
So where I'm going with this, for me, what I saw today, that Time Magazine. Everybody knows Time's still a major magazine in North America, probably globally. They had their list. They had most influential people of 2025. Well, they had Brianna Stewart from the Liberty and Nafisa Collier from the Lynx. They started that unrivaled 3-on-3 league this year. They're the founders of it.
Yeah.
But guess who they left off? They left Caitlin Clark off the list. Are you?
It's ridiculous.
Like, what are you doing? Like, one person said that I saw in the media, he goes, "This is the most famous, this is the biggest person and most influential person to ever happen for the WNBA for women's basketball." And you could argue she's probably top 3 for all time and influential for women's sports and what's going on in women's sports. He's like, you guys, he goes, the media is officially dead. He goes, he goes, not putting her on there. It's almost like they almost want to keep her down.
No, it's not the media. It's not just the media, because they're ignorant and they're lazy, and this whole media thing that's happening politically in the South is changing the whole dynamics of being a media represent. Anyways, we both love Caitlin Clark, but this is what I was waiting for, trying to just start going off and leading us into this, because this is exactly what's happening. It happened last year. It happened before. There's a lot of jealous people out there. There's a lot of people that don't like the talented, extraordinary athlete that she is, and she is the best female basketball player in the world. I don't care what anybody says. If I had a franchise and I had the money, I was fortunate enough, that's the first person I'd go after. Once I have that, and this is what her team has done. And I want to read you this article because I was reading it. I was hoping that you would lead me right to this, because you're right 100%. Johnny Leister, our host of All Things Canadians, tried to call me, of course, not to be on the show. Anyways, let's go into the article. So the article just came out literally a couple hours ago. Caitlin Clark is gearing up for her second WNBA season with the Indiana Fever, a much improved Indiana Fever, I might add, if you look at who they drafted and who they picked up via trades and who they got on free agency. They're stacked and they're looking good. In that Brazilian game, exhibition game, man, they look great. It was a total blowout, but whatever. Clark accomplished a great deal, far more than a great deal. Don't undermine her excellence and what she's already accomplished, which is what the media has been doing, if not just ignoring her whatsoever. In her rookie season, setting multiple all-time WNBA records, earning an all-star selection, winning Rookie of the Year, and leading the Fever to the franchise's first playoff appearance since 2016. If that's not enough, there's a lot more, which we talked about all season in our 24 episodes before. Caitlin Clark has been a very important figure on our broadcast, our podcast, and all basketball from the Hoopjunkies, Pauly and Rowley, because we love her. She's the best, most influential. She is she's taking female basketball and basketball, which is already the fastest growing sport in the world, to a new height, and nobody can do that but her. I don't care what anybody says. Clark fulfilled almost every one of her big career aspirations, but of course she was let out of probably one of the most obvious snubs. But one career goal was left untouched. Clark, surprisingly and shockingly, was left off Team USA women's basketball roster for the 2024. A lot of people already know this, but for those that don't, this is really a huge omission and totally tragic and very political and ridiculous.
But we'll put Diana Taurasi on there for her 6th Olympic to play 4 minutes a game.
But Trent and I are not political in this. Trent and I are just basketball junkies, and we just want to talk our opinion. So, and you're absolutely right, Trent. We'll talk about that after. Let me finish this really quick. Sparking some pretty serious, omitting her? Are you crazy? She broke Pistol Pete Maravich's scoring record that nobody would ever break. Maybe a male player in the next 5 years might have a chance. Some guys have gotten close, but nobody's beaten it, let alone a woman. And so Clark was left off the women's basketball roster, and it caused sparking some pretty serious backlash around the sporting world, absolutely. And as one of the brightest young stars in the game, many hope to see the rookie point guard excel on the Olympic stage. Globally, every woman in the world wanted to see that woman go out and dominate and bring back the United States a gold medal and be a part of it. And she will. She's going to get her time. It's just complete. It's bullshit. Sorry. And then last year, Team USA utilized its long-standing structure featuring a selection of committee for players and coaches, which they have adhered to. But for the 2028 Olympic cycle, the organization plans to take a different approach. Geez, I wonder why, Trent. I wonder why they're going to take a different approach. Well, here we go. WNBA legend Sue Bird now steps into the limelight as she's dominated the WNBA and female basketball for decades. A phenomenal player. Has been named the managing director of the USA women's national team. Thank you, basketball gods.
Yeah, exactly.
If Sue likes her, and of course Sue respects her, and it's going to happen.
It's serious.
In her new rule, Bird will be responsible for selecting the players and coaches of the 2028. Now we're talking a few years, 3 years away. And when they choose to decide her and bring her in for all and she wins a couple of championships before joining
Yeah,
the
that's
national
cool.
team. And believe me, if anybody can, it's Caitlin
That's
Clark can lead the Indiana favorite to a surprise championship in the next year or two, maybe this year, because they're stacked. If you look at their roster, they're stacked. And just to finish off the article, it's actually really well done and well written. Clark's name is trending on social media following this Team USA decision. I trust that Sue Bird will make the right decisions when selecting the 2028 roster. Caitlin Clark, surrounded by shooting and floor runners, is going to be cinema, pure gold. And we aren't going to lose ever again, probably. Oh, and then people are saying, "Oh my God! Please get Caitlin Clark in the Olympic team." Like all of us have been saying. Fred and I
yeah,
were just shocked. We were just like we couldn't believe it. We were shaking our heads. Like we
yeah.
said, leaving Caitlin Clark off the Olympic team was one of the worst decisions ever made by the history of sport. I imagine this is crazy. Look, get her on. So, anyways, and this goes and Bird goes, um, and congrats for taking the steps. And of course, this is why they got Sue Bird. And good, Clark will be the first pick this time around. Bird said the other day. Yes, this is going to
Sorry,
be.
man.
I
It's
mean,
so ridiculous.
it's ridiculous, bro.
The
And
league,
you brought it up.
the league so wants. They're so upset that they haven't. Let's be totally honest about the league. There's some really, really good players, great women players.
It's the best league it's ever been.
But I'm sorry that nobody gave a shit
Yeah.
and nobody watched. And it took some girl, white girl,
And they
from
lost.
Iowa.
They lost like 25 million every year
They've
for
been
20 years.
They've been subsidized by the NBA. They
Right.
lost 3 million the year before. They've been
Wow.
subsidized by the NBA, who makes billions, they can afford it. But they've been
Right.
subsidized by the NBA from their existence in like 1998 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So
96.
that's real, right? So you have this league, all of a sudden this person, like we've said, or I've said many times, this is your golden goose. This is your Michael Jordan. This is like, look what happened to basketball when Michael Jordan at his peak. No, I don't think Caitlin Clark's at her peak, but in his peak in the Olympics, look what happened. Look at the NBA right now compared to what it was in 92. 5 of the best 6 players in the entire NBA are European or not American.
Yeah.
Because of that global phenomenon. You don't think taking Caitlin Clark to the Olympics would have been this global thing? It would have been so good for women's basketball around the world if they would have done it. And you know what one of the reasons was? And this is on paper in an interview by the one of the people on the committee. They were worried about the backlash they were going to get from her fans because she wouldn't be playing all the time. Are you kidding? That is such a that's weak sauce right there. And the last thing I'll say about it, it's just nonsense. You want to talk about who's growing this game right now? Go take a look at when she had the mic on her. She walks up to the Brazilian coach to say hi to him. And what does he say to her? He goes, "You're changing the game of women's basketball." Right?
Yeah.
He said that to her. I mean, you don't just say that to people. You're not kissing their ass. You're being honest because he's seeing it in his own country. Look at the players that they have. Right? It's just nonsense.
We're seeing this globally. It's happening, and if you're not seeing it, there's only a few people that are not seeing it, and that's the jealous WNBA players. And we know who they are because they've made it quite known how much they have such disdain for the best female player in the world. And that's another fascinating thing, and that'll be for another show. But Trent, I always value you're passionate and truthful because you're the one who turned me on. I knew about it before you turned me on. And turned me on to her, meaning, go watch her play. And I've seen snippets of her play, but actually see an entire game. And the first game I saw, she had a really bad game, but it happens to all of us, right? But I've seen her play since and watched WNBA. And I'm actually thinking about buying her jersey, to be honest. I just really find their logo terrible. But
by the time you're here for the finals, I just got 2 New Jersey cases. One of my white Michael Jordan jerseys going in there, and I have a Caitlin Clark jersey coming, and they're going to be side by side on the wall in one of the open spaces on the wall in the basement. Two
Wow.
goats.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I got to think about bringing you a gift too. I mean, the whole thing about what I was talking to you about yesterday was about this, right? And so I got to sort everything out, and I think I can. But getting back to where we're at,
Yeah,
we're
so
20 minutes into this. We talked a little bit about we're going to do a show on Cooper in the top 10 and who we
yeah,
think is going to be second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then talk about surprise picks. And there's always going to be that's going to be a fun show. I'm looking forward to that as well because I was spending a lot of time watching these young cats play. But Trent, let's get into what the heck is going on in the
great.
second round. It is absolutely titillating.
We
It
should
is electrifying. It is extraordinary. The battles that we're seeing,
center of the universe.
the referees have all of a sudden
Uh,
decided to not play. It's we've just gone back to the 90s in the
yeah,
21st century, and the
not following,
referees are letting everybody just hack the crap out of everybody.
not
And
calling those fouls on your boy LeBron's when he's laying on the ground,
no,
picking up.
no, 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 no respect. 23rd year in the no, not
Well,
anymore.
we should finish off before we get right into the second round, though, because we are a couple days late. We should finish off with at least, again, your Knicks in this round right now against the Celtics.
Let's
Celtics,
talk about hey Trent, really quick. I was thinking about this, and I want to hear what you say, and I'll let you say it. I just want to interject quickly in that the teams that you didn't think would make it to the conference semifinals, but are how they made it. Honestly, watching Jokic and the Denver, what they
Aaron
did
Gordon,
to the
Gordon's
Clips.
at the point for a
Gordon's a
second.
beast. He's been on a beast mode. The
Him and
last
Jamal Murray. Him and Jamal Murray all of a sudden they have their big three right now. And
dude.
Jokic, the video I saw the other day, he's coaching as well.
Oh,
So it's like it's nuts, man, what they're asking this
oh,
guy to do.
he's coaching full time.
Hold on, dude, it's
He's taken
unbelievable.
over that team, and
But that
he is
Rockets, that was the
passionate.
best series. That was the best series in the first round.
Oh,
That
honest
Rockets,
to God,
that
that was the
first
best basketball. That was the
oh,
best basketball I've seen all year.
they were
The
such
hair
good.
in the back of my neck, and there's not much, is or it's in the upper part of my neck. It is it. I I just sat there and went, my God, this is exactly he did exactly what all of us dreamed somebody could do, and no other player since the '70s has done this. And of course, Wilt Chamberlain. I
Yeah,
mentioned it before in past episodes. Wilt used to average what he's doing, but
yeah,
whatever. I'm not taking away anything from the Joker. I love him. I
yeah.
think the Joker is the MVP of the NBA this season. That's it. I don't care what happens. What I've seen, I've never seen before.
Well,
I've never.
they either hand it out tonight in OKC to Shea, or they hand it out in 3 days in Denver to Jokic. That's what's
Really?
happening.
That's what you heard?
Yeah, it's always in the second round.
Okay.
Always gets given. MVP gets given in
I
the
don't
first
pay
couple.
attention to that, but I mean, I do care.
We always you just see because my guy was winning it so many times. I was used to seeing it in the second round of the playoffs. So, AKA
Yeah.
the man right there. So
Yeah, the dynamo that is Michael Jordan, right behind Trent.
in the other series that broke
It
your
was
heart,
extraordinary. Really quick interjection because Trent never talks about this. When Jordan got drafted number 1 overall with that incredible Hail Mary last second baseline shot, and the way is beautiful form, beautiful lift. Right away, you could see the guy was going to be special. Unfortunately, initially he got drafted by the Bulls, which is really the best thing that could have happened to him. But their first 6-7 seasons, they were the worst team in the NBA for the most part. But Jordan was averaging 36. He was just killing it. And I was watching the coming of the next great one. And
center.
and then the only player in the history of the NBA to be a part of a team that wins 6 championships in a row. I don't think will ever be replicated in this modern age. What?
They didn't win. They won 6 and 8.
6 out of 8. Sorry, because yeah.
Maybe I
Anyways.
would have loved to see the Bulls and the Bulls and Rockets in the finals. Would have been
Oh man, yeah.
way better than the Bulls and Knicks. Although
Yeah.
I still would have been just as upset when they put the little screen of the Rockets and Knicks and had big screen of OJ being chased in his white truck. Do
Oh
you
my
remember that?
God.
The finals
Yeah.
that year? Oh, it was the worst. right? So
Honestly, too, we were Trent and I were actually watching a game together, a basketball game back in when that happened. I don't know what
you
year.
and I and Ed on his apartment on Fourth were watching that
Right.
game that
So that was in Kits on First and U in
yeah.
Vancouver, in British Columbia, Canada. And I had this incredible apartment just a few blocks in the basketball court. And I told Trent, I said, Joe, after I left Lloydminster with Eddie and we closed the restaurant down, we had a restaurant there we were running. And I said, Trent, just come to Vancouver, man. You got to get the hell out of here, dude. Yeah, you need to come down to paradise. And when Trent came, his mouth dropped open, and he was like, "Dude, I don't want to go." And when he did go, he went to Victoria. But anyways, that's a different thing. We're doing a show. The fact is when he saw the beautiful west coast of Vancouver and Kits Beach, it changed his entire life.
So
Anyways, Trent, please go on.
what else would have been a bit of a tearjerker for you to see how dominated the Lakers got by T-Wolves?
Yeah, I expected it, to be honest.
Gentlemen,
Honestly, I was surprised it went that fast. I thought it would be at least a 7-game series.
I was so wonderful.
But honestly, Minnesota coming back healthy and making that trade and having the time to get continuity together and allowing mini Jordan to really evolve into a superstar in the NBA. It's exciting basketball. I love it. And honestly, the best team won.
Yeah, they did. I agree. I think the Lakers, because LeBron's is there, they'll try to trade for some other superstar like Giannis.
They got a lot of they got some good draft. They got a lot of picks they can trade. They got 5 expiring contracts.
If they try to get, I'll tell you right now, if they want to get a big main star in the league, that means Hillbilly Mamba's gone, Jamara's gone, draft
Dalton connected.
Connect's gone. The other team should really demand, if it's the Bucks should demand Bronny James in this trade. Well, we're not doing it unless
You're such a sadist. It's incredible.
Love it.
You want to see LeBron James cry as a 41-year-old man.
Every time he falls down on the court, flopping on a foul.
Well, I mean, that's what he learned. Where do you think his programming is?
Yeah.
It's the second greatest player in the history of the NBA.
So, and then we had the Warriors. I mean,
He's top 5 for sure. Sorry.
The Rockets just dropped the ball. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
they're a young team. I expected that.
I did too. We talked about that, saying
yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors won, just because of the experience. You usually got to lose before you win, and that's perfect for the Rockets. They got a lot of young talent. They're actually the rumor of them in the Kevin Durant. Durant.
I totally see that as a good fit. But you know what? The free agent, the point guard that disappeared, who signed in just a ridiculous, overpriced $80 million contract. I actually drafted Fred VanVleet in a previous draft as a 3rd overall pick.
Fantasy basketball.
I thought he was going to blow up with the Raptors. I was thinking Canadian, and they did win a championship, not because of him. And this year, I picked him up because people tossed him to the curb because he was just a dog this year. And he came back. I had him for like 20 games. He played maybe 8, and he was the worst he's ever played. His stats were horrible. And the only time he comes out to play is at the time they need it in the last 2 games, only because he's a free agent, and he wants Houston to retain his services and pay him just a ridiculous amount of money, and they'll probably get it. But you know that Houston team, boy, if they keep their team together. You hear the trade they tried to get the Greek Freak? You hear the latest trade?
Yeah, that's.
Come on, man! Don't throw that fluff out. Nobody's going to take that for the Greek Freak. Come on, bro. It's chump game.
They got lots of talent.
Anyways,
and then the East obviously kind of went how we thought it was going to go, anyways. Except for you were a big Bucks guy, and I said, "Hey, Pacers, like they could win this series." And
the thing was,
didn't help the Bucks either, but the Pacers are playing good ball right now.
You know, that's exactly right, Trent. But to sound like Antonio Daniels for a second. They didn't start the season off that way, okay? They were terrible. They lost their first 15 games out of 20, okay?
Well, believe me, I'll pull up Paul Bale right now. I drafted that Tyrese Halliburton guy, and he just stunk it up for the first 30 games of the season.
But he was right. He was right. And I did the same thing. I drafted him on 3 of my 8 teams. And I was like, I was going to unload him. I tried to trade him. Nobody would take him. I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And then the second half of the year, they're 35-15.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
right?
they went.
And
Oh,
they're
they,
healthy,
yeah.
Trent.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Carlisle, nobody talks about the coach. He is a world champion as a player. He won, I believe, two Boston championships with the Boston Celtics,
Yeah.
and he they could be the surprise team in the playoffs this year,
Yeah,
certainly
uh,
in the East.
one of the people on this
But
show
all
said,
the best four teams in the East are made it to the second round semifinal. So what
well,
what?
let's
Let's
start
talk
in the
about the other
fourth
one.
round. Yeah, let's start in the second round then.
So the Cavaliers, honestly, the best defense in the league, the best offense in the league, and one of the top three defenses in the league, and they're sitting three starters out
Yeah.
during the second round of the conference semifinals. I've never seen that before. And so one player had a toe issue, and then they're a 7 footer, and then honestly, what happened, Trent? What's going on, bro?
I'm not sure what happened with them, and we talked about them before. This is what happened to them last year with Mitchell being hurt going against the Knicks,
Unbelievable!
and now they have this going on again.
It's
And again,
unbelievable.
the Pacers are, as you just said, sometimes being the best team all year doesn't mean squat when the playoffs come because somebody might just be playing their best ball this season, and that's what you're seeing in Indiana right now.
It's
I
a
mean,
very good point,
that game was over, dude. That game,
dude. It was
I
it was
actually looked at the
embarrassing.
score and I went,
It
"Oh,
was
I'm
it
not even going to watch this game." It
was
was like
embarrassing.
28 points, 18 points. Next thing I look, I go, "Oh, it's getting close." So I started watching it. I'm glad I did. Because I'm
So
just saying, Indiana
and I've
just
been
gave them.
talking about depth a little bit more in the NBA this year for 24 episodes because depth's really important. Maybe not so much during the regular season, or maybe even more in the regular season than the playoffs, because a lot of coaches will tighten up the rotation, but not Indiana and not Cleveland. Interestingly enough, the two deepest teams in the NBA are battling each other out now, and three of the starters
Right,
or the sixth man of the year, backup sixth man of the year, because Pritchard won.
right.
After before the trade when he got moved from Atlanta over, and it was a great pickup, great trade, and it sealed their depth. Well, let's just say the depth with three starters sitting on the bench was obviously they were lucky to actually be in control of the game for the three quarters of the game. But the better team won, the better depth won, and Indiana's offense is right there with Cleveland, and they have better depth when everybody's healthy.
They lost
So this
together.
is, I think, this entire series, if they can get these guys out of their clothes and get them on the court in Cleveland, I think it's going to be a 7 game series, and I hope it is.
Good team. So I mean, yeah, they gotta win this next game or it's over. I mean,
It's a must
forget.
win.
Yeah,
2-0 down with the three guys coming back. It's doable if they tie it up at 2-2. They got to win two in a row. But
sure.
Indiana's playing really well right now, and and
Too.
and Halliburton doesn't have. It looks like his calf is okay. It looks like he
If
has.
you're a Canadian boy, Nemhard,
Well, it's
shot,
you're the
20,
Nemhard fan.
he shot 29%
Yeah,
in the regular season.
yeah.
He's shooting 56% from the 3-point line in the playoffs. He's
It's
just
incredible. He's
great.
been playing well. And that was the next thing I was
Wow.
going to say. The reason why they're playing is because finally Miles Turner showed up.
Yeah,
And Turner he plugs the hole. And if he doesn't get in foul trouble, he can shoot the three. He's a legitimate 6'11", 7-footer with long arms. He's a veteran. He's always healthy. He plays 75 games of the year for his entire career. He blocks shots, and he had 4 blocks, really pivotal blocks. He doesn't rebound well, but everybody else does. And Nesmith, who Boston tossed to the curb, had one of the best games he's had all year. They're really coming in, and Mathurin, a fellow Canadian who I love, came off the bench and had, incredibly athletic. So
yeah,
I agree with you that they're the biggest surprise for me
yeah.
at,
They're
at
playing
this
great.
at this stage of the playoffs, and it's exciting. It's a fantastic series. Trent, all of these series, all of these 8, there's 4 and 4 in each
Oh,
East
yeah.
and West. It's crazy good entertainment.
Go to the next one in the East, which is your other squad, the Knicks. Old school rivalry with the Knicks and the Celtics.
I love it.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't mind. No, it doesn't matter who wins for me,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
all I
I'm
know,
wearing my Knicks hat, but I'm a huge Boston fan. So I mean,
yeah. Um, Yeah, I don't know. That first game's hard to watch. I have a hard time watching a team. chuck up that many missed threes, like 46 missed threes in a game. Like, come on, like do something else. Like,
So, if I may go back to the comment I made in our last episode, 9 days ago, 8 days ago, whatever it was, I said Boston's going to continue jacking because they
of
lead
course,
NBA in taking
true,
jack, and they've been all season long. It's been
yeah,
one thing that people cannot stop because they have so much depth from the
yeah,
3-point line.
yeah.
However, that depth doesn't matter when everybody's just chucking it, just chucking it.
Uh,
And
I,
it was like right away from the opening quarter, I saw them missing everything. I was like, oh, it's going to be a chuck fest, right? I knew it. It was, that's when the door is wide open in the
yeah,
cathedral and you see
yeah,
the white light of whatever you want to see. And it's like a gift and you go
yeah,
for it
yeah.
because that's what it is. And
Uh,
the fact that NBA teams and in basketball, rarely did I miss that many shots from three, but if my team did, I would go up to individual players and say, maybe we should make the extra pass and try to go inside out and free up things and try to get a layup, make the extra pass,
well,
right? No, these guys continue to, they just keep
these
chalking.
guys, these guys pass out of a layup. They have a wide open layup and they chuck it to a guy shooting 30% in the corner. Like, it's like, really? Like,
Yeah.
what happened to basketball?
Hey,
Right?
listen, that is the current NBA. That's happening everywhere. Come on, man.
Well, if I was a Knicks fan, I would be a little bit like, well, this game went to overtime and they missed 46 threes. So you got to play better as well because you barely
But
got that game.
let's give Knicks some credit.
Yeah, sure. They played
Honestly,
well.
that was in terms of defense, and the first quarter of what I watched before our show today, because we're not live, everybody that watches our show will have this show out tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Game's on
Um,
right now.
yeah, it's on right now. I'll watch it later. It's not a problem, and we're just happy to be able to put this show out, and we really appreciate your future viewership. And of course, if you'd like to comment, subscribe, like, we really appreciate that. You have no idea. We're on a goal. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers, and we're at 54 right now. So,
Sure.
it's baby steps, and we're not giving up. We're just going to keep
Roger,
on
Roger.
going, and we hope
Right.
you like the content. And I think the content's great. And I mean, Trent and I, we really care. We are Hoop Junkies. This is something that we've been talking about together since we've known each other for what, 37 years or something. It's like, this is not something we just whipped up and said, hey, let's go make some money on YouTube. No, this is what we do every day. We're Hoop Junkies. So Trent, what do you want to talk about? Which next series? Yeah, so I was just going to talk about the Knicks. So they got Mitchell Robinson back.
Trump
They got
leads
Mitchell
that.
Robinson back, so they're really and he's the only 7-footer in the NBA that has size 10 shoes. So there's a reason why he's had ankle problems. But I love the kid, and he's very limited. But what the basketball they're playing is so motivating right now. In the last couple of games, like the last 5-6 games, this is the Knicks that I saw last year, and Jalen Brunson leads that team. And by the way, Jalen Brunson won Mr. Clutch NBA award. And if you
Right.
based on his statistics, and he is the most clutch player in the NBA. And of course, if you watch the Knicks and what he did last year, you'll see he's starting it all over again. And he's healthy, and they're healthy. But their defense is incredible. And Coach Tibbs is actually going to the bench a little bit. He's going 8, sometimes 9, especially if there's. But the Knicks are playing inspirational basketball, and they need and honestly, nobody was talking about who was the biggest surprise for you, the Knicks, that you didn't expect that showed up during that game, aside from obviously Brunson and the doubles that Hart gets.
Yeah, I mean, pretty underrated.
OG, man.
I'm happy to see. You know what? The one thing about is I'm actually, I'm just happy to see the amount of games OG played this year.
Yeah,
right.
True.
And never been that durable.
No.
He's a good player. He's a really good role player, and he's better than just a role player.
Oh,
so
he's
I'm kind of happy for the guy. He's a Raptor, for me. So I'm happy for the guy. It was a good move for him.
Yeah.
The fact that he said, I heard a comment it was even last year where someone was like, "Oh, that's a great trade for the Knicks. They're getting a real durable player." I'm like, "I'm watching games."
we
like,
made that comment.
Yeah, like I'm like, but this year he played a lot more games, still missed, but I mean he's playing really well here. He's the
I
kind of the
think
X factor.
I think he's
So,
in the top 5 best defensive players in the NBA right
great
now.
player. Yeah.
Myself. And that's why I brought him up. And then of course I just wanted to say I in our Yahoo fantasy basketball, Trent and I, we played in the same league together, the same team. And when I drafted Mikal Bridges in the 5th round, I realized I made a mistake. I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? I made so many mistakes in that draft that I never do because I was busy coaching Trent, who almost won the league. But that's my excuse. Of course, we as fantasy, whatever the players do in real time, we have no control over. We can only go by their statistics. And OG is one of the reasons why, and the Villanova connection, and the Towns trade, and the general manager. And I really think this Boston New York series is going to bring back when Clyde Frazier brought the New York Knickerbockers to 2 championships in 1969, 1970, or 70, 71, and 72, 73, I believe. And of course, those are the only 2 championships the Knickerbockers have won in the modern conception of the NBA. And I'm excited, Trent. It's going to be great. Did you enjoy the game? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was a great game.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, again, I'm gonna say it was a good game because like this, I have a hard time watching one team miss 46 3-pointers and just keep ducking it up. And
I have a Trent. Like, it's not that the fact that they missed 40, is they kept on jacking. Take it inside. Try something different.
But I think it's going to be that series is a 6 or 7 game series. They're going to they're beating each other up. So, but let's go to we'll go to the West. We're going to start with the bottom seed one because the top seed one we can talk about for like an hour probably if you wanted. But the Timberwolves Warriors, first game last night. Curry's going to be out for a few games now with a hamstring.
Saying 1 week.
Big game for the Warriors. Go in there and win that first game.
Hamstring, they say 7 days. He's really takes care of himself, clean living dude. He's going to miss 2, maybe 3 games and be back for the 5th game. Right. So they need everybody else to step up. And by the way, they almost won without him for 3 quarters.
Yep.
Last night. Yeah. So I was surprised at that.
Well, they did win.
I mean, they won, but I'm surprised they won because.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
He's gone the first quarter, and he's carried them. And look what he did the last quarter. He had a bad game the game before, and he went off for 22 in the 4th quarter. And this is just, when I see that, I feel not like giving up basketball because that is just extraordinary.
Yeah,
it's electrifying. I've done it myself, but I'm not Steve Curry. I'm not a chef. I'm a cook.
Yeah.
He's a chef.
I mean, that's a big win because of that injury. That's a huge win winning that first game for Warriors. That puts him Jimmy Butler has been a perfect fit. Who would have known the happy Jimmy Butler could still play basketball?
I actually like him the first time.
Oh, dude, he fits. He's a perfect fit with that.
He
really is. Again, we talked about this during the season. There's no way that Jonathan Kuminga's on this team next year.
No.
Like, there's no way. Like
they're going to sign Jimmy to a 3-year.
They're really obviously not.
$150 million deal, and they're going to trade Kuminga.
Well, they signed him to a 2-year, whatever it was.
I know, but that's that one. But they're gonna, when this season finishes, I wouldn't be surprised if
they've obviously really just don't like him anymore. They don't feel that he fits anymore. Like the minute they got that big white guy they're playing now.
Post.
Yeah, he comes in there, hits a couple threes, plays
D. Nice, man. I like him. He's 6'11". He's fundamentally sound. He hits threes. He passes the ball. He blocks shots. He's aggressive. He's not scared of anyone. I like him.
Kid from Indiana as well. He gets in.
Yeah. Hey, those boys, they can play in Indiana, right?
The Warriors are gonna. I mean, I don't think the Warriors are winning the championship, but I knew from the start of the playoffs, and we talked about it. We talked about, hey, we both picked Houston, but I put in brackets. I had the Warriors in brackets, and I made the comment going, I wouldn't be surprised if they won. But I don't think they're winning the championship, but I know they're going to be. They're going to be a tough out.
Honestly, I don't think they're going to get out of this series.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Evil's got to win this next game.
I'm going to give you my guess. It's going to go 7 games, and it's going to be a grind out fast without Curry. And if they get Curry back in the fifth game, the up until the fifth game, the first to the fifth game is 2 games in between, so that doesn't benefit a hammy, even a first grade one hammy. That's can be really debilitating, depending on the individual. He's lithe and thin, takes care of himself, clean living dude. I think good chance with Celebrini, Rick Celebrini, who's my old busboy from the cannery. I love saying that. He's on. He's there. He takes care of the whole deal. Everyone, all their injuries. If he's back for the fifth, sixth, and seventh games, those
Right.
games are 4 games, 4 days apart.
Right.
He's got a chance to heal, and so I'm going 7 games, and
Yeah.
I think Warriors are going to win in 7 games.
Wow.
I'm going to
I
go.
wouldn't be surprised. Like I told you, they're going to tough out.
Yeah.
And then the next series, of course,
What are you
is
going for?
I have a feeling the Warriors might win that series. I just do. I
Don't
mean,
believe they will.
I think the T-Wolves should win, but the Warriors just seem to they've got something going. They're feeling pretty
I
good
agree
about
with you,
themselves
Trent.
right now.
Honestly, my heart
No.
said Warriors, but I think the T-Wolves will win.
I don't know. I would not be shocked if they win. But
Dude, look what's going on. Like Randall's fits in really well. The big kid that when Randall was injured and played unbelievable, and then they got Dante back, who's fit in excellent.
Yep.
They've got a really nice. Everybody's healthy. The big Frenchman is playing his best basketball of his career.
and there's a team there that has depth.
They've got bigs. Because look at Reed. Reed
That's
came
what I
out-
told you I said about when they played the Lakers. I said the biggest thing for the Lakers is to be, yeah, sure, they have some length in Smith and Vanderbilt, but those guys are 6'7", 6'8".
Vanderbilt's 6'9", bro.
Whatever. But Minnesota guys that are long are 6'10" and 6'11". Long,
And they
right?
play D. And they got
Yeah.
Minnie Jordan. That kid is so exceptionally talented. And
I still think the T-Wolves should. I think the T-Wolves should win. I think the T-Wolves probably have the better team,
Right.
but experience counts, man. People can say whatever they want,
You know
but
what?
experience counts.
It's not just experience. It's 4 championships with their key players still involved. Great coaching. And Chef Curry, the best shooter in the history of the NBA.
And then the next series, Thunder Nuggets. I just want to say something before we get into this one. First of all, the Nuggets. Let's give a thumbs up to James Harden for disappearing in another Game 7. Good job, James. I hope the chicken wings and strippers are great this summer. Like, good.
And who knows what else?
I'm serious, dude. That guy, he disappears every Game 7. That guy.
It's honestly
unbelievable. Such a good player, and he disappears.
His year, one of the best years that he's ever had in the last 5-6 years. When he was back in Houston, he was dominating the NBA, and I thought he was toast. And I didn't think Kawhi would come back. And Lawrence did the GM of the Clips with the money that the owner has into it, with the brand new arena and the way they put on the show. Man, really impressive this year. But dude, you know what? Go home. Go to the strip club, drink a bottle of Hennessy, go buy some Hawkins cheesies. The next morning you wake up, you find one of the Hawkins cheesies because you're so hammered, still in your beard, and it's still hard, but it's made with real cheese. Enjoy it, and have a great summer.
What a dog, man. I mean, every time.
Bro. Disappointing.
So, but this series now, like, obviously we talk about how many great games. The best series was the Nuggets and Clippers. Well, the Nuggets Thunder started out. If every game's going to be like that last one, it's like, I mean, what are we doing? Again, real quick tip to all the kids out there that might be watching. There's a reason your coaches want you to practice free throws. Go give Chet Holmgren a text. Go ask Chet Holmgren how he's feeling right now with free throws down the end. Free throws are important. It's I did so many drills as a coach on running stuff, like running because we couldn't make free throws. Get kids to understand that. I'd say to them, I go, like, hey, we just lost this game by 4 points. We shot 5 for 25 from free throw line. Right? It's like, what's the difference in this game? Not because they were better than you, it's because you suck at shooting free throws. Like, again, unbelievable end to that game.
we've talked about this so many times, and for those that don't know or haven't watched our show, we are hardcore basketball players. I played professional basketball in Europe. I played basketball for 55 years. Trent played college university basketball, and he's the coach. I'm a coach. We've been doing this for 40, 50 years. And we're both great athletes, but basketball, we're passionate about basketball. And not just basketball, we love all sports, but basketball is just something we both click with because we're hoop junkies. And the thing that I always talk about with our when we volunteer, we go out in our communities and we coach girls and boys basketball. We do it for free. We don't expect anything from it except the value that we get, the enjoyment that we get, helping our communities and getting into the grassroots of our communities to help these young kids you know, enjoy good coaching, better than average coaching, and leadership and mentorship, and a set of systematic programs and calisthenics. And it's exciting. It's unbelievable, and it just represents one area of basketball. This sport is just unbelievable, and the growth that we're experiencing in Canada's the second best basketball country in the world, behind the Americans. And Trent starting his we'll get into it after you finish, but I'm so pumped about basketball, man. I'm so pumped about our show. I'm pumped about Canada, right? Elbows
So
up.
after all what Paul said, back to make a free throw at home ground.
Yeah, and by the way, it's not just free throws, it's turnovers, layups, and don't talk back to your coaches or your teammates. It's being a gentleman, learning how to lose with grace, being a professional, even if you're not getting paid. So right,
So
Trent.
I
All
would
of
say
that.
the end of that game for me, I don't like how Oklahoma played it. So I'll explain.
Yeah,
So there was about 25 seconds left, and they're up by 3.
yeah,
And instead of letting uh, Denver come down and shoot a 3, they just fouled. And they'd foul right away, so they weren't even letting any time off the clock. Well, they did that a couple times, and instead of let them come down, they're going to try to run a play. They might eat 10, 15 seconds off the clock first and let them shoot. Because now you've made it a free throw contest. You're saying, okay, we're going to make all our free throws. That's what you're saying.
yeah,
I get
yeah.
that strategy of fouling when there's like, you're up 3 and there's like 4, 5, 6 seconds left and they're inbounding it and the guy catches it and you go and foul them. Well, now when you get fouled, it's probably only going to, when you're at the line trying to build that lead back up again, there's probably only a second left on the clock. I didn't like how they played that end of that game that way. Like,
I think
it was a
it's
weird way to play
I
it.
agree with you, Trent. And the head coach of the Timberwolves is an old, I wouldn't say he's a friend.
Not Timberwolves, the Thunder we're talking about.
Oh, you talk about the Thunder. Oh, I
The
thought you
Thunder
talked about
Nuggets game, the way they played the end of the game, the Thunder
no.
Nuggets game.
Right away, I just when you were talking about that, you know how I thought about Chris Finch
Yeah,
because he was doing that towards the end of the season and in the early parts of the playoffs, and I was like, why would you do that if you're winning? Like, I don't understand that. But that wasn't the big problem in that game. That's a really good point. But the missed call
yeah.
at the end of the game was so blatantly obvious, bro. And that's what and Chris Finch and all of them, all of
We're
the.
back to Minnesota. We're talking about Miss
No,
Paul.
but I have to admit, I'm just saying the same thing happened, and all of them say that they got robbed
Right.
because they didn't get the call.
Right.
It's the same thing, and this has happened a couple of times. This is
Losers
not
always
unusual,
happen.
right? So, what are you thinking? The outcome should have been what?
Well, he was a foul. Well, it's just a foul. I mean, but no,
Was it a
Thunder
legitimate
Nuggets.
foul in your mind?
Yeah, probably. I mean, there's body there. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Honestly,
who knows? It's like
You know,
flip a coin. It's the NBA, man.
they've been allowing but they've been allowing guys to beat the shit out of each other.
Put
and-
Steve Jaffe on the camera, and he can tell me if it's a good call or not. Okay, like, or maybe call
Why-
up Joey
why-
Crawford, your favorite
Why
ref
they
of all
usually
time.
do if there's a contested situation, right?
Give Joey Crawford a call. He'd probably give you a technical for calling on that guy. So it's terrible. But so the Thunder Nuggets, that game, to end the way it did, and then I don't understand how does off a missed free throw that didn't even get rushed right away, how is Aaron Gordon all alone on the wing like that? Like Chet Holmgren stood on the foul line instead of getting back, and he got burned twice near the end.
That was really bad D, and I think it was the defensive misassignment. And honestly,
I think so, yeah.
yeah, it was. To me, that's what it looked like. But not once, but twice actually. So
Yeah.
young kid kind of blew it, and he's got to learn. And of course, Jordan's been playing out of his mind the last few games, so everyone knows he's on a heater. When Joker went down, Jordan went off.
Dude, he is a career. He shot over 40% from the 3-point line. His house is a gym. That's what he ended up building for him, and that's what he worked on was shooting jump shots. And he was over 40% shooter this year
Yeah,
on the
it's
3-point line.
incredible. People don't realize he's 6'9",
Yeah,
240.
he's a big dude. And all of a sudden, without that calf,
Dude.
that magical calf contusion or calf strain, I mean, he's even doing.
Magical? I would call it a mystical.
He's dunking the basketball again and stuff like that, right?
Not just dunking it. Joker, you notice the way Joker, what he does? He looks for all of his teammates, and if they're not, he'll shoot it.
Right.
He always is looking to pass the ball.
Just for everybody who didn't watch the game, Joker had 44 and 22, like just a mild 44 and 22. I'm texting Paul going, this dude's got 44 right now.
And 9 assists and 3 threes, 2 steals.
And they played him tough. They blocked the shot like 3-4 times.
And he didn't give up. Because when he goes, you notice when he shoots, he doesn't lift. He doesn't, he's such a big guy. He doesn't jump. He's below the but when he does this and he misses and taps and misses, nobody can get it. They don't have the height. When Hartenstein's out of the lineup, Chet Holmgren's, what is he, 180 pounds?
Yeah, they don't have that mentality.
Holmgren's what, 7'1", 180 pounds?
Yeah, he's over 200.
There's no way, man. Look at him. He looks like he's gonna break.
He's so tall. He's probably barely over 200.
I'm joking. I love him. I'm just saying,
I mean, but you're right. It's like, I mean, he's not guarding. And the other thing that I like, and I mentioned to a friend of mine the other day, was about that is the one thing I like about Denver with Jokic there is when some teams will settle. If you're the Celtics, let's say, it doesn't matter if you see a mismatch. I'm jacking a three. When they run their little high post stuff, and Jokic gets a small player on him, that ball goes to him right away. And he turns his faces, and then if he wants, he goes, okay, I'm just going to back you down until a double team comes. And if the double team doesn't come, I'm just going to pivot and do a little jump hook on you, or do a drop step, or do it. I mean, they take advantage. They play a little old school basketball in those situations, right? Because that was a big thing in that, us growing up in the 80s and 90s. If somebody little got on you, it's like, hey, dude, I got somebody. Give me the ball. Like, I want the ball right now.
Excuse me, mismatch. Hello.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you being 5'6", there's not a lot of mismatches in the post. So I mean, it's tough there, but yeah, for him, they play that way. It's awesome. I mean, I love it. So.
I love the guy, but if you're watching the show, don't believe all the smoke that falls out of that guy's mouth. It's a lot of it's bullshit. I'm serious. 5'6", dude. I can wait. I'll measure myself right now. I'm 5'10" and a half on a great day.
Yeah.
And by the way, I dunked the basketball the other day. It was on an 8-foot hoop. But
an 8-foot hoop probably felt good still, though.
No, I did it with my left hand, right hand. It was awesome. I was just showing off as a kid.
Probably felt good.
No, I was worried I was gonna rip an Achilles tendon or blow a hammy or whatever. Do you know that they finished the 10-acre DeHart Community Park across the street?
Your pictures showed me. It looks awesome.
See the basketball. I sent you photos, right?
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Oh my God, it is really awesome, dude. They've got proper iron backboards for year-round playing, so you can sit up the 3-point line, and it's a legitimate NBA 3-point line, thank God.
Yep.
So 24-foot, 9-inch, 3-point off backboard is a layup on these rims. I'm so happy they did that. And it's
it's so popular you couldn't even get a hoop the other night. So I mean, that's a good thing.
I did get a hoop. I just had to share it. There's only 4 hoops, but whatever.
Oh, whatever, man.
That's good.
The fact that it's right across the street, that's pretty sweet.
Wow.
Go out there.
And the rest of the park's awesome. They got pickleball. They got a dog park for you.
Don't play pickleball. It's a cult. It's a cult. Don't play pickleball.
No, they love it. It's back. You should hear it. Back and forth.
Don't get caught in that. Don't get caught in that crowd.
Well, Flavia actually bought me a paddleball set for Christmas last year.
Don't do it.
As a stocking stuffer.
Your knee is just waiting to be torn.
No. I'm going to put my knee braces on, my ankle braces. I'm going to put a double wristband. I'm going to put a headband on. I'm gonna go out there
Don't
ready.
film that, please. You'll look like Super Dave out there. Wear a
You know what?
helmet as well. Like,
You
geez.
know what I should do? I was thinking. This is what I was thinking about doing. And please, if anybody is watching this, well, you won't not yet 'cause it's not live. But when you're watching this, if you want me to do this, I will do this, and I will film it. I have an episode where I will dress up as an old school 60-year-old Canadian dude, like somebody like Slick Watts with headbands, knee bands, ankle braces, knee braces, double wristbands, headbands, whatever, fake tattoos, whatever you want me to do. I'll go out and I'll take my camera with me and my microphone and I'll do shorts for our channel, this channel. And I'll
Oh,
do
yeah.
shorts and I'll do a series on fundamentals, just shooting, have some fun,
Why
and
not?
interview people at the court. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to shock you with this.
That'd
And,
be great.
and then I'm gonna somehow figure out how to add it to the episode because we do no episode. I haven't done a single edit. I think on maybe 3 or 4. Maybe that shows in 71 videos. But we like to keep this show free flowing. We really this is from the heart. Trent and I, and from our minds. This is what we love. Trent, would you like to finish up with any final?
I got
Any note?
nothing. Go Thunder tomorrow. Just to make
Yeah,
that
you're
series
still going
good.
for Thunder to win the West.
Yeah, I kind of want, but I mean, I don't mind seeing the Nuggets win.
I want the Nuggets. I honestly, I don't care if it's OKC or Nuggets. I'm happy.
Yeah. So,
I am.
yeah, I
And
got
for the
nothing, man.
East, what do you got?
Man, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with the Pacers. I kind of picked them at the start of the year. I said they'd be a
Yeah,
surprise
yeah,
team if they stayed healthy, and
yeah,
I'm still gonna ride that train a little bit. So I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
they're the best team in the East, but they're on a heater right now. They're feeling them. They feel good. I mean, guys' dads are coming on the court and taunting other players. I mean, yeah, man, let's go. They're ready
I
to
think
go.
I have the second best depth, and I think they're the third best team.
Yeah, yeah. Sure. That's
That's
all
me.
I got. That's all
Excellent.
I got.
Well, that's all you got. Well, that's more than any of us could imagine or expect. So thank you for that. It's always great to have the co-host at the most, Mr. Trent Rowley, taking time out of his busy schedule in St. Paul, Alberta. And we have an episode coming on the first iteration of the Canadian Bro Show. I think I mentioned him briefly, either in the beginning of this episode or some way along the lines. And that is an interview that we did with Trent. Johnny and I interviewed Trent. And that episode is our 38th episode of the Canadian Bro Show, I believe. And Trent graciously filmed with us. And Trent Rowley has. I don't see our ticker going at the bottom, eh?
No.
That's weird. Anyways, not a big deal. We'll put that on next time. Trent Rowley and Ben Poulin have a radio show from Spotify. They've done over 50 episodes, and we interviewed Trent. Johnny and I don't know anything about Alberta. Most people in Canada don't. It's a big country. And Trent was gracious to spend about 95 minutes with us and explain to us what the hell is going on with Alberta. And the episode's called Finding Alberta. And it's all Canadian Bro Show, all things Canadian with Pauly and Johnny. And our guest was Trent. So thank you for that, Trent. I watched the episode. It is really good. You are excellent, not only as a co-host, but you're a great interviewer as well. So thank you for that. In the meantime, I just wanted to say what a great episode. If you're not watching the NBA, check it out. Check the NBA, WNBA out as well. It's crazy what's going on. Follow Caitlin Smith and come back and tell us what we're missing. If you want to see us do something about basketball that we haven't done, let us know. If you like the show, like it. If you subscribe, we really appreciate it. Just run your mouse over the bottom of the subscribe button on the right-hand side below Trent and subscribe. And if you want to pause the video and go to the washroom and get a drink, you can like. We appreciate anything you can do, and we really.
Or if you want to hear my lovely voice while you're, having to go to the washroom, it probably helps.
Right.
So feel free. Leave it on.
If you had a voice like that, I'd be doing a podcast and a radio show myself. In the meantime, my name is Paul Bale. I'm the founder and host of the Canadian Bro Show. And Trent, please introduce yourself once again as you're leaving. Who are you?
Me.
He is
Trent.
you. Trent Rowley, co-host of The Most. Thank you very much for joining us. We're going to be signing off. And thank you for joining the show. It's just a phenomenal show, man. I'm going to watch Hoops right now. I'm so excited. Everybody out there, just be kind, be friendly, be generous. It's free. You'll make somebody's world a better place. Peace, love, and happiness.
Great.
Take care.